You and your cousin decided to go into business together.
Their new trucking company
I was the driver, he was the dispatcher.
hit a few bumps.
You picked up loads. They were waiting for the loads. You didn't show up. You shut off your phone, according to the customers.
They was threatening and calling the authorities because he wasn't at the proper place.
And did you or did you not get paid on this job?
I did not.
Looks to me as if you weren't a very good deliverer.
Judge Judy.
Mr. Murray, Mr. McIntyre is your cousin, and you and your cousin decided to go into business together.
That's correct.
And the business was trucking.
That's correct.
You had been in the business before.
Yes, ma'am.
Driving. And you are not in the trucking business. You were a barber?
Yes, ma'am. I just purchased a truck.
Okay, so this was the business arrangement, as I understand it. Mr. McIntyre purchased the truck. He would pay the expenses on the truck. He would take care of all the necessary things that had to do with the ownership of the truck. And your contribution to the business was driving.
Yes, ma'am.
And making deliveries.
Making deliveries.
Very often these were cross-country deliveries. He bought the truck, and this was your first venture?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were traveling from where to where?
From Simpsonville, South Carolina to the first stop, which was
What was the first stop and what was the last stop?
LaGrange. The first stop was in LaGrange, Georgia. The last stop was in Alabama.
Okay. And how many stops were scheduled for deliveries of merchandise? You were delivering merchandise.
Right.
How many stops were you supposed to make?
We had 5 stops.
This is what your lawsuit is about. After this first trip, the business didn't work out. He was unhappy with you, and you were unhappy with him. The truck broke down. You had to call your wife to give you a credit card number for expenses because the one you had didn't work. Mr. McIntyre says that you were always late, never on time. A lot of the merchandise was damaged. He didn't make any money. He lost customers. So that's the lawsuit. I have a suit and a counterclaim. Bottom line in this is you entered into a business investment that you're no longer involved with. Fair statement?
Yes, ma'am.
You're suing him for money, not for salary, but for you were supposed to be equal partners. Is that right?
No.
What was the breakdown, sir?
Well, I was going to invest the money, he was going to invest his time, so basically, yeah, we're going to split the profits.
That's what I said. You were going to split the profits.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, from the trip that he made, from Georgia to Alabama, 5 stops, I have to know how much money was supposed to be made, sir? Supposed to be made.
Supposed to have been made at $6,400.
You have the names of those clients,
Yes.
correct? I assume you brought them with you.
Yes.
Good. I would like to see them. Well, I have 2 here. One is for $1,350 and one is for $1,500.
I only brought the one that was in question. I didn't bring the other ones that we didn't have a problem with.
So you got some money. Mr. McIntyre, you had problems with these 2.
I did.
But you didn't have problems with the others.
There was only one with 3 loads.
There were 5 stops.
There was 3 loads. Those 2 loads, which went to Coleman, Alabama, then one went to LaGrange. So there was only 3 loads. It was 5 stops because you had to drop off and pick up. That's the way he came up with the 5.
Okay, so there were only 3 jobs.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have 2 here.
You have 2.
One you say that you got paid on.
Yes, ma'am.
How much?
$1,200.
And did you or did you not get paid on this job?
I did not.
Did you or did you not get paid on this job?
Did not. Because of the damage, which I have the evidence of the damage and the pictures.
I'd like to see it. So what you're telling me is that the customers sent you pictures of damage.
Yes. And they also stated that being that it was being so late, they was threatening and calling the authorities because he wasn't at the proper place with their supplies.
Who took these pictures?
The customer did. And if the DOT would have stopped me with that right there, I would have been fine on the road.
Well, so it looks to me as if you weren't a very good deliverer.